Hi everybody, it's Karen from Craftykarendesigns here. Welcome to Share It on a Sunday. I don't normally do a video for Share It on a Sunday, I normally just do a blog. But today I thought I'd push the boat out and do a bit more. So the theme this week is monochrome. Donna chose this theme. And my initial reaction was, oh, black and white. And I thought, no, I'm going to go for something different. So I've gone for basic grey. And I'm also killing two birds with one stone. Because I don't know whether you've seen on my blog, but if you follow me regularly, you will have done. Donna challenged us a while ago to do 33 different sketch challenges. And we're getting towards the end now. I mean, we're well over halfway there, I think, now. But I looked at this one and thought, I quite like this one. I don't know if you can see it or not. My screen on my camera looks just white light. It's so bright. I think you can. There's a piece down this side and a piece down this side and a strip in the middle and then a sentiment rectangle on the top. So I'm going to have a go at this. I don't know if you do sketch challenges yourselves very often, but I find them a really good way of just getting your mojo going, because sometimes you see a design and you think, I'd never have put those things in that order on top of a card. But give it a go. It's good fun, and it gets you thinking, and it also gets you to use up scraps of paper that normally, you just leave in a folder and they just gather dust. So I'll stop waffling now and get on with it. So as it's end of the month, I'm going to make thank you cards for my customers. So I'm going to use the So Sentimental and the I Can't Thank You Enough. I really like this sentiment. In fact, I like the whole stamp set, but I use this thank you one quite a lot. Because it does what it says on the tin. Because without my lovely customers, I'd have to spend far more money on my own. And I'm going to also use these embossing folders. And these are the wrapped in texture embossing folders. And then the new small ones that are for the new smaller embossing machine that is on its way, but not yet. But you can use them in the bigger size one, or in your big shot, or whatever it is you've got. I don't know whether you can make out. Might be better on there. This one's like little. It's a diamond shape, but with little dots. And the other one is. Oh, I haven't cut the other one out. The other one is just like dashes and dots, but they're quite effective, and it's quite a deep embossing. I quite like it. So we're going to give that a whirl as well. So as I said, I'm going to use basic grey just for a change. It's not a colour I use very often. So for the card base, you need a piece which is 8 1/4 by 5 7/8. And scored at 4 1/8 to make card base. That's my standard card base. Okay, and then we've got a piece of Whisper White, which I'm going to use as the first mat on there, and this is 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. And then I'm using some of the designer series paper, the one that matches all the different colours that we have, and this particular one's got spots on one side and this sort of textured, looks a bit like Hessian on the back. So I'm going to use one of each like that, and I'm going to do it that way around. So this piece was 3 5/8 by 5 3/8, and then I've chopped a 1 1/2 inch strip off it. So let's put some glue on that. Which way did I say I was going to do it now? I'll do it that way. My short-term memory is absolute rubbish. I can't remember what I said 2 seconds ago. So we'll just lay that on there with a small border around the sides. And then we'll do the same with this one. You could just do one piece instead if you wanted to. There's no law that says you've got to follow a sketch challenge exactly. Because I've actually added an extra layer into this one. On the actual sketch itself, this one, these two are strips, but this is just the original card base, card mat. I decided to change it up a little bit. So then I've embossed a 1/2 inch strip, and these are just strips that were left over. Where's it gone? To try and save time, I cut up my Whisper White and Very Vanilla, because I don't know about you, but I always need loads of these. So every now and again I'll cut up a load of these, and there's always a bit left over. So I've chopped the strips in half because they come in for sentiments, and I keep them all in this stamp case. So I've always, if I mess one up, I've always got another one to hand, and it saves me quite a lot of time. So that's what I've used, one of the 1/2 inch strips that were out of there to go on here. So we'll add some glue to this and lay it across the join in the middle, and I'm going right to the end of the mat. I'm going a bit over because that edge is crooked. So then I'll just flip it over and chop off the excess, top and bottom. There we go. So then I'll add that to the card front. Some more Tombow. I very rarely use anything else. Tombow's my adhesive of choice, just because I very rarely get anything down straight first time. I need a little bit of wiggle room. And when you use Stamp and Seal and Stamp and Seal Plus, it's a bit harder. So that's the reason I do it that way. And for the inside, I've got another 1/2 inch strip of the Designer Series paper. So I'm just going to stick that along there before we add that to the inside, just for a little bit of interest on the inside. So just leave a border along the edge, and then I can chop off the excess and add that to the inside. That's not very straight. I'll get that off. Ooh, put a bit more glue on. Wasn't very straight, that. Oh no, I've ruined that. I'm going to end up cutting this card front off and putting it on another base, I think. But you get the idea, you get the general idea. See, it's all live, no editing. So I've embossed a piece of silver foil, which is 2.5 by 3.25. All the measurements will be over on my blog. I'm going to add that across there, and then I'm going to stamp on this smaller layer. So I'm going to stamp in basic grey, and as I said, I'm using the I Can't Thank You Enough. So we'll stamp that in the middle, and there are some little shapes, stars and triangles. I think it's supposed to look like confetti, so I'm going to scatter some of those about as well, just for a bit of added interest. Like that. I'm going to add that to the silver foil with some dimensionals. So don't forget to pop over and see what Donna and Victoria have made, Taffy Crafting and Vicky Lou Designs. As we never see what each other's made, it's always a surprise for us too on Sundays. So we'll just add that. To the centre, and then we'll add some glue to the back. So as I said, all the measurements will be over on my blog, craftykarendesigns.blogspot.com, and the links will be there to Taffy Crafting and Vicky Lou Designs blogs as well, for you to have a look what they've made. Just pressing this down a bit around the edges, because it's so heavily embossed and it's foil, it doesn't want to stick down. There we go. So, and I will sort out the inside of it later on off camera. So there's the basic grey one, and I think that looks really quite nice. But I also did a couple of other colours too. I've done a Magenta Madness one, exactly the same, just a different colour, and I've also done a mint macaron. The name had escaped me then for a minute. Mint macaron one, exactly the same. So there you go, pretty monochrome thank you cards for my lovely customers this month. So thanks very much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd be really grateful if you did do. Press the red button below and click on the bell, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. And pop over to my blog at craftykarendesigns.blogspot.com and get all the measurements and the links to Taffy Crafting and Vicky Lou Designs. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.